Hey everybody, welcome back to Home Economics. I'm your instructor, Erica. And for today's class, I figured we needed some dessert. So what we're gonna be making today is a really good bourbon brown sugar glazed grilled peach with a homemade vanilla bean ice cream. So as always, put your aprons on and let's get started. So to start, I have some farm fresh peaches that I'm going to slice in half. And let me think, which way do I do it? I think it's this way. And we're gonna twist, and then we're gonna pop out the seed, if I can get it. Oops. And then we're gonna set these off to the side. So once your peaches are cut in half, we're gonna take a few tablespoons of butter and we're gonna melt it on our griddle pan. And so what I'm using this for is, I just wanna get some nice grill marks on my peaches, but we're actually gonna bake these in the oven. Now, if you were on a barbecue grill, you could do everything all in one, but I want to make sure my peaches are nice and tender. Okay, it's been a few minutes. Let's check and see how they're looking. This is kind of what we got. I want those grill marks to be a little bit darker. So now that they've cooked for a few minutes, this is what I was looking for. So once the peaches are done grilling, I actually have them over here and they look beautiful. So I'm actually going to, let me move this out of the way. We're first gonna season them up with just some cinnamon, like so, if you can see that. And some nutmeg. And then I have a cast iron skillet that has some melted butter, and we're just gonna place these in our skillet and we're doing them skin side up. So now I'm gonna bake these in the oven for maybe about 10 to 15 minutes, or at least until they reach my desired level of softness. I haven't decided yet how long I'm gonna do it, but I'll let you know. So while our peaches are in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and get started with our ice cream. Now this ice cream recipe is my absolute favorite. I've made many tweaks to it to try to get it right, and I think this is perfection. So we're first gonna start with 4 egg yolks. And one of my yolks broke, so I gotta kind of scrape that down. And then we're gonna whisk these together. Now the egg yolks, this is what's gonna add that richness and creaminess to the ice cream. And I've tried this with 4 eggs, I've tried it with 6, and I think 4 is the sweet spot. Once your eggs are all whisked together, cannot talk. They should start to turn a light yellow color. So we're gonna take that and set it aside. Then we're gonna get a pot and get a good angle where you can see this. Okay, good enough. All right, so then we're gonna start with 1 cup of milk. Pour that into our pot. That's better. And then we're gonna take a 1/3 cup of sugar, add that. Now for the next 5 minutes, we wanna whisk all of this together until our sugar starts to dissolve. But we don't wanna bring it up to a boil, just enough that it's completely warmed and all of our sugar. I also added a pinch of salt. We wanna make sure all of that's dissolved together. So once it's been about 5 minutes or your arms start to fall off, you're gonna take your milk mixture and you're gonna start to temper your eggs. And this is why it's important that you don't have your milk boiling hot, because if you do, you'll scramble your eggs. So I'm gonna slowly pour that in while whisking. Like so. Now on lowish medium heat, we're gonna whisk this because we need to bring this up to 165 to 175 degrees to make sure that the eggs are cooked but not scrambled. So we're gonna keep whisking, and this is where you're gonna need a food thermometer as well. So let me take the temp. All right, we're right where we need to be. Turn this off. Now that that's done, we're gonna add in 1 cup of whole milk. And then 1 can of sweetened condensed milk. Now this is also gonna add to that rich, creamy taste. And then we whisk. Lastly, I'm gonna add some vanilla bean paste, but you can use regular vanilla extract if you like, or flavor it with any type of flavoring. And then we whisk some more. Once everything's all incorporated, I'm gonna pour this into my freezer container, and I'm actually straining it. This is not necessary, but I like to do it just to make sure everything is nice and smooth. And just in case things get a little clumpy. Now it does unfortunately have to sit in the freezer overnight, but with the power of movie magic, I have some here ready to go, already frozen. I'm gonna take it over to my Ninja Creamy and blend it up, but I'm gonna do that off camera because the thing is really, really loud. So next we need to work on our sauce. So we're gonna start with 4 tablespoons of butter. You can use salted, unsalted, doesn't really matter in this case. And then we'll take about 2 or 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Mine is all clumpy, but it's all gonna melt down the same. Then we'll add in some cinnamon, some nutmeg, and a pinch of salt. And we're gonna stir this together as it melts. Fun fact that I didn't know is that brown sugar is just regular white sugar with molasses. So if you ever are out of brown sugar, just add molasses. But if you don't have brown sugar, you probably also don't have molasses. But if you happen to, that's how you make your brown sugar. So while we're stirring, we're gonna go ahead and add in that bourbon. And I'm doing 1 shooter to start. Now, the alcohol is going to cook out of it, but not entirely, which isn't a bad thing. I'm just gonna keep stirring so that doesn't burn, and we're gonna take the heat down to low. This is what we're getting. I tasted it and it is so good. So we're gonna add just a little bit more bourbon. Not the full shooter, just a splash. And here's how we're looking. So good. Now as you keep stirring, your sauce is going to start to thicken, and that's exactly what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn the heat all the way off, and then we're just gonna add in maybe about a teaspoon of vanilla. Now you can use vanilla extract. I'm using vanilla bean paste because that's what I have on hand. By the way, if you ever want some amazing vanilla bean paste, this brand right here, I get this at Costco, so good. So our glaze is done, but we need some type of garnish or texture to go on top of these peaches. So I have some pecans here, and these are honey roasted pecans. I did pick them out of a bag of nut mix, but it's fine. And we're just gonna crunch those up. Alrighty, let's get everything dished up and let's see how it tastes. So let's first start with this little cute dessert dish that I got from the Goodwill. And we'll take our peach, put that at the bottom. Now, we'll take some of that glaze, actually take that out, and let's brush it on the top, like so. Then we need a scoop of ice cream. This is a little soft because it's been sitting on my counter. Add that to the top. Then we need to garnish it with our pecans. Maybe a little bit more. All right, let's give it a taste. If I can get it. My ice cream is so melted. Oh my goodness. That is so good. Even with the ice cream melted, this is delicious. You get the tartness from the peaches, the sweetness from the glaze, texture from the nuts. This is so good. So that went exactly how I hoped that it would. It was absolutely delicious. I want you to make this recipe for your friends, your family, whomever, for yourself. But as always, thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Alrighty, class dismissed.